Mabuhay! I'm Fernando Sanyal Francisco from Humanities and Social Sciences, and welcome to a great adventure to pick new knowledge. For today's video, we will be discussing the different rules and responsibility of legislative branch of the government. The main objective for this video is to differentiate the different rules and responsibility of Philippine Senate and House of Representatives. Legislative body, first body of the government that established in 1987 Constitution under Article 6. Philippines utilizing Bicameral Congress, which consists upper house, which is the Senate of the Philippines, and lower house, which is the House of Representatives. Congress is the repository of the legislative power. What is legislative power? It is the competence of legislative body to propose, enact, ordain, alter, modify, or repeal laws. In synonymous, it is a law-making power. According to Article 6, Section 1 of the 1987 Constitution, the legislative shall be vested in the Congress of the Philippines, which shall consist Senate and the House of Representatives, except to the extent reserved to the people by the provision on initiative and referendum. Composition of Congress of the Philippines. For Senate, it composed of 24 members elected at large qualified voters, term of office for 6 years, maximum term of office for 2 consecutive terms. For the House of Representatives, it composed of 250 members, 200 from different districts of provinces and cities, while the remaining 50 members from the different party lists of national, regional, local, sectoral organizations. Term of office for 3 years, maximum term of office for 3 consecutive terms. There were 2 types of legislation, national and local. National, it is exercisable by the Congress and the people through initiative or referendum. For more information, please check out the Public Act 6735 entitled the Initiative and Referendum Act. Meanwhile, on the other hand, local legislation, it is exercisable by the Sangguniang Panlalawigan, Sangguniang Panlungsod, and Sangguniang Pambayan. For more information, please check out Article 10 of the 1987 Constitution and Local Government Code. Scope and limitation. The power of the Congress to legislate is plenary, meaning it is absolute and all-encompassing. There are 2 types of limitation of the Congress, substantive and procedural. Substantive limitation, limitation on the content of law. It can be expressed or implied. Expressed, explicitly stated in the Constitution, while implied, principles used by the Supreme Court to notify the acts of Congress. Express substantive limitations can be seen in Article 3, Section 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, 19, 20, 21, 22, and Article 4, Section 25, Paragraph 1, Paragraph 2, Paragraph 4, Paragraph 5, Section 30, and Section 31. For example, Article 3, Section 4, no law shall be passed abridging the freedom of speech or expression or the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and petition the government for redress of grievances. The Congress cannot make or enact a law that would conflict to the human rights. Section 25, Paragraph 1 states that the Congress may not increase the appropriation recommended by the President for the operation of the government as specified in the budget. The form, content, and manner of preparation of the budget shall be prescribed by law. Meanwhile, Paragraph 2 states that no provision or enactment shall be embraced in the General Appropriation Bill unless it relates specifically to some particular appropriations therein. Any such provision or enactment shall be limited in its operation to the appropriation to which it relates. On the other hand, implied substantive limitations has 2 kinds of implied substantive limitations. Prohibitions against irrepealable laws. These are laws that can be changed in the future, and principle of non-delegability of legislative power, derived from the Latin word delegata on delegare potest, which means what has been delegated cannot be delegated. In a short manner, it is a law that cannot be changed in the future. However, there are exemptions to legislative power. First, the power of the President, stated in Article 6, Section 28, Paragraph 2. The Congress may, by law, authorize the President to fix within specified limits and subject limitations and restrictions as it may impose tariff rates, import and export quotas, tonnage and wharfage dues, and other duties or imposed within the framework of the National Development Program of the government. Second, emergency powers to the President, that is stated in Article 6, Section 23, Paragraph 2. In times of war or other national emergency, the Congress may, by law, authorize the President for a limited period and subject to such restriction as it may prescribe to exercise powers necessary and proper to carry out a declared national policy, unless sooner withdrawn by resolution of the Congress. Such power shall cease upon the next adjournment thereof. The third one is delegation to the people at large. It can be seen in Article 6, Section 32. Fourth, delegation to local government. It can be seen in Article 10 of the 1987 Constitution and Local Government Code. The fifth one is delegation to admin body, also known as subordinate legislation or quasi-legislative power. One of the best example is the Commission on Higher Education. They have the power to exercise laws within its jurisdiction. On the other hand, procedural limitations imposed under the Constitution regarding the process of lawmaking. The Congress cannot go beyond or shorten the process of lawmaking. Later on, we will be talking about the process of lawmaking, but for now, we will be focusing on how the Congress check the power of the President. First, the Congress check the President's power to appropriate funds for government use, provide consent on appointments made by the President, request heads of executive departments to appear before the Congress. The Congress also check the President's power as Commander-in-Chief in the suspensions of writ of habeas corpus or declaration of martial law. Concur with President in granting amnesty to individuals. With respect to the international relations, the Congress also exercises functions known as diplomatic powers. The following are good examples. First, declaration of the existence of a state of war. It can be seen in Article 6, Section 23, Paragraph 1. Second, granting of emergency powers to the President in times of war or emergency. It can be seen in Article 6, Section 23, Paragraph 2. The third one, no treaty or international agreement shall be valid and effective unless concurred in by at least 2/3 of all members of the Senate. It can be seen on Article 7, Section 21. The lawmaking and legislative performance. There are two main documents of making a law, resolution and bill. Resolution conveys principles and sentiments of the Senate or the House of Representatives. This resolution can be further be divided into three different elements. First, joint resolution requires the approval of both chambers of Congress and the signature of the President and have the force and effect of a law if approved. Concurrent resolution, used for matters affecting the operations of both chambers of Congress and must be approved in the same form by the President for his signature and therefore have no force and effect of a law. The third one is simple resolution, deal with matters entirely within the prerogative of one chamber of Congress, are not referred to the President for his signature, and therefore have no force and effect of law. However, on the other hand, bills are law in the making. They pass into when they are approved by both houses and the President of the Philippines. A bill may be vetoed by garnering 2/3 vote. If the President does not act on a proposed bill submitted by Congress, it will lapse into a law after 30 days. Other rules of the Philippine Congress. First, initiative investigations into matters of public concern. Call on government officers and citizens to appear before legislative committees if ended. Approval of appropriation of the national budget, General Appropriation Act, for specific fiscal year. National Board of Canvassers during presidential and VP elections. Commission on appointments. Initiation of impeachment cases starts within the House of Representatives. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me in this great adventure. For more videos, please subscribe this channel and give a big thumbs up. For your questions and clarifications, just comment down below and you will be notified. Once again, thank you and mabuhay!